Hi, my name is David Rippy. I am a certified hypnotherapist. This client came to me for a past life regression. A past life regression is where I take someone to a deep hypnotic state where they can recall details of a previous life. After bringing this client into a superconscious hypnotic state, she shared a life where she was entrusted with an ancient book of secrets that was handed down to her from her grandmother, going back many generations all through her family line. The book had never seen the light of day until now, and she also discovered her Indian bloodline roots. Please leave comments and subscribe to my channel at David Rippy, as there will be more to follow. Enjoy.
Letting go. Allowing the golden light just to come down through every inch of your body. Feeling it going through and starting to see in your mind's eye, see your heart lighting up with more of this golden light coming into it. As we count down to 1, you can see all through your body. You see yourself drifting down in this golden bubble, so gently, just drifting down so slowly. Allowing yourself just to enjoy the ride down. And as you drift down, you can see it's almost like dark, and there's a large sequoia redwood next to you. And you see yourself from a distance, this little golden bubble coming down so lightly and slowly, almost in slow motion. As we count from 5 to 0, you can feel the bubble lighting up more. Get all the light coming in, though it was dark on the outside. As we drift down to 4, you can feel yourself feeling the golden light coming up in your crown chakra, coming down into your throat, into your heart, all the way down to your toes. You can see yourself lit up as we drift down to 3, drifting down, 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 deeper and deeper. Allowing yourself just to relax. Hearing my voice, not falling asleep, but allowing all this energy to come in. And as we're drifting down to 1, we're coming down slowly along the side of this beautiful tree. Drifting down, drifting down deeper and deeper. And as you start to get down toward the base, you can feel yourself starting to drift away a little bit. Almost like you're being guided by angelic hands, taking you on this journey as you guide down through the life. And as you drift along, you can feel yourself starting to drift over this beautiful field of flowers. And as you drift down deeper and deeper, you can feel the colors in the flowers starting to become more clear to you. Seeing yourself gently floating above this beautiful field of flowers. As you're drifting down deeper and deeper. Feeling yourself sinking into the bubble even more, taking all the energy in. As you drift along, feeling so relaxed. And as you're drifting along, do you see any particular type of flowers?
They're red, orange, and yellow. I'm not sure what kind of flowers they are.
Okay. So a lot of reds and orange and yellows. And how high do you think you are above them?
Just a few feet, maybe 2 or 3 feet.
Okay. So I want you to continue to drift along, enjoying the view. Just allowing yourself to continue on, just drifting along, feeling relaxed. You feel yourself sinking down deeper and deeper. Allowing yourself just to kind of go with the flow. Feel yourself sort of drifting in and out of these little flower-laced hills. And now we're starting to drift down. You feel like you're almost coming down almost inside a valley of flowers. And as we count down from 3 to 1, you can see yourself starting to go on the bubble along this above this beautiful flowers, it sort of turns into water as you go farther along. And as you're drifting along a couple of feet above, you feel safe because it's waterproof, watertight. You're just drifting along with all this energy. And as you're drifting along, we count down to 2. You can start to see along the banks. Maybe look on each side. Maybe it's not too wide when you see both sides. Maybe there's like some trees as you're kind of drifting along. Literally about floating about 3 or 4 or 5 feet maybe above the water. The water's kind of taking its time. It's not too quick. And as we drift along, drifting down, 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 you're drifting along, and as you look out near the banks, do you see anything on the banks of the river at all?
It's actually a desert. There's a couple
So it looks like a desert.
cactuses around.
Okay. And as you look out in that area, I want you to kind of just stop the bubble for a moment. And we'll just kind of set it down as we count down to 1. And you're feeling yourself gathering all this energy in the bubble, and seeing through your mind's eye as a door comes opening up on the side of the bubble. And now you have this golden suit on of light. You're totally protected. And I want you to step outside of the bubble and kind of stand there and just get your bearings. And as we count down deeper and deeper, as you begin to get out of the bubble, feeling yourself with some new strength, calm, relaxed. As you stand outside the bubble in this golden suit of protection, I want you just to look ahead, and as we count from 3 to 1, and you drift down deeper and deeper, you're going to start to see the images opening up wider and wider in front of you. So it's almost panoramic, like almost in an IMAX theater. As we count down to 2, you can see it getting brighter, more clarity and detail. You might begin to see people around, animals, maybe nothing. As we count down to 1, I want you to kind of tell me maybe what you see.
Well, I'm standing in really grainy sand. Like, it's not like beach sand. It's like almost like it's easily pliable. Like, it's you can dig in it. It's not just like
Okay.
There are cactuses and what's the word? Tumbleweeds
Okay.
around, and in the far, far off distance there are mountains.
Sounds very nice.
It is very nice.
Do you see, is it like dusk or sun anywhere in particular?
It seems like early morning, maybe 7 or 8.
Okay.
a.m.
And as you see yourself standing there, you're drifting down deeper and deeper. The images are going to become more and more clear. As I count from 3 to 1 down. 3, 2, 1. You're starting to see even more detail. Man, can you see yourself? Can you see what you're wearing?
I can't see myself because I'm like in my body there.
Uh-huh.
But I'm wearing like leather moccasins or some kind of shoes.
Okay.
They're like a light leather.
Now, are you from the area, or are you a settler, or what are you? What color is your skin?
I think I'm native. Some kind of indigenous.
Okay. So like Native American, maybe down in the Southwest somewhere, does that sound like it makes sense?
Well, strangely, I feel like I also feel like a traveler, maybe because I just arrived in a bubble. But,
Okay. Sure. So you're like an observer looking in on this
yeah, I
tribe.
kind of feel like I just settled down in a spaceship and now
Okay. Well, you don't have to, you can just be observing this, wherever it wanted to land.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're kind of walking through, do you see anybody else? And as you kind of go along, just drifting along.
I see a lot of buzzards.
Okay. And what are they doing, anything in particular?
No, there's just like a lot of them around, kind of picking through the sand and existing.
Okay. Is there any other structures around you at all, or just out in the middle of the desert?
Mostly just desert.
Okay. Well, as you're relaxing around, I want you to continue just to kind of look around. And why would you want to be here? Is this area seem familiar to you?
It does, but I feel like I came too late, like I missed something.
Okay.
I feel like I came, and my people used to be there, but they're not anymore. So I almost feel like an archaeologist a little bit, like I'm looking for my own history.
Okay. So does it feel like maybe you're out in that desert, but you feel you're indigenous, but maybe an archaeologist, you think, or someone looking for past history? Is that what you were saying?
I feel like I came to the desert looking for my tribe or my family, but I came too late.
Do you think there was there some sort of an attack, maybe, or a tragedy?
I think I'm just a couple hundred years too late,
Okay.
if that makes any sense.
Oh, okay. Wasn't that neat?
Hmm.
Well, as you drift down deeper and deeper, I want you to go. Do you see yourself at all in that life, or you're just, do you see how old you might be, or what you look like? Maybe you had to see yourself in your mind.
I'm like a teenage, maybe 15 or 16. I think I'm a boy. And I have, I'm wearing mostly leather. I have like a satchel, like a beaded bag.
Okay.
And I'm wearing like a head, like a headband with some kind of amulet on the front of it. And I have like black hair. And pretty skinny. Like it looks like I'm a little bit malnourished.
Isn't that neat? Now, what else do you see your parents in your mind? If you had the mind, of that boy, do you remember what your parents were, or do you remember your name?
I think I knew my parents when I was really, really little, but they died in a fire.
Okay. And was it an apartment building, a house, or what kind of fire do you see, or what did you hear? Like, what were the stories?
I think it was an attack on a village, and we lived in teepees in the desert.
Okay.
And they were all burned down.
Okay.
And somebody saved me and carried me away.
So you feel that maybe you were very young,
Like a
10
baby.
or 12, or a baby at that time?
Yeah.
Okay. And being carried away from this, like another tribe? Was it a raiding party, or was it soldiers, or who attacked? Who tracked?
I can't really tell, but they had arrows with fire.
Okay. So they weren't cavalry of any sort. There was no guns. They mostly just arrows, right?
There were explosions,
Okay.
but I can't really tell if it was
Huh.
like
But
cannons
they were
or what.
guns.
Yeah, I don't really.
Maybe a few guns, mostly arrows or something.
Yeah, some kind of explosives. Not like cannonballs or anything. I just can't really tell.
Okay. Well, now as you're there, and you were carried away, let's go farther on in that life. You see yourself being carried away, you remember it, you don't really remember all the details of when you're young, but you sort of remember a lot of it. Because it kind of stuck with you, and as you go forward, you're drifting down deeper and deeper. As I just continue to say a few words, in your mind, you're going to start to see some other images. Like as you're getting older, maybe getting older, 18, 20, whatever. And I want you to see me and tell me, when you see yourself looking older in that life.
I, I don't. It's interesting because it almost appears to be in the future.
Okay, you want to just tell me about that?
It seems like aging is differently. It doesn't progress like we think of it today.
Okay.
So humans live to be 400 or 500 years old, and there are a lot less humans.
Now, is this while you're on Earth or somewhere else? If you had to guess or just think about it.
Okay, so it's very much like Earth, but not this Earth.
Okay. Now, as you're there and you're looking around, how old do you see yourself now, roughly? Maybe you had to put a guess on an age. Or you said it did age
I think I would appear to be maybe 25, but I am actually like 125.
Okay, so you live a lot longer. Just I understand, but you would be like a 25-year-old in our aging, but not in theirs. You'd be 5 times older or something.
Right.
So that's good. So as you go forward in life, do you see what you did in that life? Maybe do you remember what his occupation might have been, or what went on out there?
I was mostly alone, working, traveling, searching for searching for something that is kind of really important. I'm trying to figure out who, if anyone, that I work for, because I'm on a mission. I spent most of my life walking through the desert,
Okay.
looking for maybe some kind of an archaeologist. It's hard to tell.
Okay, well that's very interesting, and I want you to just kind of drift along with those thoughts, and as you're drifting down deeper and deeper, you feel yourself relaxing even more, allowing the memories just kind of sink in as you're kind of just looking at them, kind of observing them, and as you drift down, I want you to drift down deeper and deeper, feeling yourself more and more relaxed. As you allow yourself to kind of remember that life where you were 25 at the time. And as you look forward, I want you to drift down deeper and deeper. And tell me, how much older do you see him getting? Does he look like he gets to be an older person? Or what do you see?
It looks like, well, I just remembered I had a wife. And
Okay.
I had a son who I saw for the first time when he was a couple months old. It was because I was traveling and doing a lot of work, and I always did my work by foot. I don't know why I never... I don't know if there was time travel or if there were, I don't really know, but I never was in a vehicle or never on a
Okay.
horse or anything like that, but I came... I just had this image of coming to meet my son for the first time. I found my wife, and she was by a fire in the desert. She had a camp set up, and there were some other people around. And I remember my son's face, and I think it was very brief, and I think that was the only time that I saw him. I think I must have died or something after that, or I'm not really sure.
Okay. So you're not sure, you saw him that time, and as we go closer and you're drifting down deeper, allowing the thoughts to maybe become a little clearer, kind of opening up some of those dusty memories. Feeling them in your mind's eye, almost like they're being cleansed or washed with like an energy type of Windex, where they're starting to open up. It's almost like you've sprinkled all this golden light all the way through the images. You're starting to see them even become more alive, almost like colorizing an old film. So as you're drifting down deeper and deeper, you can feel yourself sadly have to leave your son and go off somewhere. I want you to take me to that moment where you think where you went and then how fast and how did you die after that.
I'm not really sure how I died in that lifetime, but I just had this image of a lot of my different who I was, or the body suits that I was in, kind of like a something you can scroll around. So a lot of my different who I was, or my bodies, there's a whole line of them.
Okay.
So
So you're seeing like the body type suit you had.
yeah. So
Do you see like a whole like assembly line of them? Is that what you're saying?
yes, all lined up in front of me.
Yeah, describe that to me as you walk around.
So, well, in my mind's eye, it's all darkness, except for a line of people facing me, stretching out really far, probably a few hundred at least, and I can see that I was this person before, and I can kind of go down the line to look at each person.
Okay, now each person was somebody different, or each person was you?
Each person was me.
Okay. So it's almost like you're saying there's many, many clones of you?
No, I think what I'm saying is I'm able to select which body, which person,
Oh, okay.
and then kind of click on them like a computer mouse and then see the story maybe of their lives or of certain parts. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember how I died in the past life that we were just talking about, but I think I can choose any number of lives to kind of peer into.
Okay. I think that sounds pretty interesting. Now, as we're kind of keeping that in mind and kind of seeing all the lines of the bodies, yeah, I want you to we're going to just kind of drift down deeper and deeper. And other images of other, scenes or events that stuck with you, I want you to describe as you're drifting down deeper and deeper. Maybe go into another image of something along these same lines. Then how it's all connected together, and tell me what you see.
I'm in India, and there there are a lot of mats, or colors and smells and scents, and it's the middle of the afternoon. And I'm sitting cross-legged on a mat on the ground in a village, and I'm a man with a beard, like gray and white beard, maybe 70 or 75 between there. And I don't have anything that I'm selling, but I am sitting and waiting, and there's a lot of hustle and bustle and action around me, but I'm just sitting there smiling, very calm.
And are you from this area?
I'm from India, not from the city that I'm in right now.
Okay. Well, that sounds interesting. So you're sitting there in the middle, you're just kind of taking everything in and just relaxing? Or why would you be sitting there on a mat?
Feels like I'm waiting for somebody.
Okay. So you're a male. Are you married or have children in that life?
I have 2 wives.
Oh, 2 wives, okay.
And 17 children.
And 17 children, wow. And you remember your name in that life? Like if some letter pops in your mind.
Well, this is where I question the authentic, or if it's Marut
Okay, Marut.
Maganda.
Okay, say that again.
Marut Maganda.
Okay. Well, that's came to you, so I think we ought to go with that for a while. And what time period does it feel like? What century or year do you think you see in your head?
This is maybe the 1940s.
Okay. It's about 1940s, and you're feeling pretty good. You're waiting on a friend. Is the friend you're waiting for male or female?
A male.
Okay. And is it a business deal or just a friend from some time you met a long time ago?
This is somebody who I do spiritual work with.
Okay.
We work with energy together. Something about scrolls or writings.
Good. Continue.
I'm seeing an open. I'm seeing my friend and I sitting, facing each other with an open tablet, and literal energy spiraling up out of it, and we have our hands open and we're chanting.
Wow. Now, describe that light to me again. How did you generate that with your friend?
Through the mantras or the chanting.
Okay. So pretty powerful stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are you both pretty good at this, obviously?
Yeah, it seems as though we've had a pact, and we've known each other in many lives.
Oh, in many lives, okay. Now, as you go forward in this life, and you said you were around 70, 75, I want you to go a little farther, and you bid your friend goodbye at this point. You had a lot of good fun with them, meeting them again. And as you go forward, you're drifting along deeper and deeper. You're feeling more images coming in. As you extend out all the way through that life, I don't want you to take me all the way up to come to your last days. I want you to describe that to me.
I'm aware of my death, and I chose to die. I was able to die consciously through. Death didn't happen to me. I allowed it. There was something. So the tablet or the book that I described,
Yes.
it was very sacred, and I entrusted it to somebody.
Okay.
Maybe it seems like maybe one of my grandsons, because it could only be in certain hands. Most people couldn't be trusted with it.
Okay.
But my one grandson could be.
Now, did he help you pass on, or did you do the mantras yourself?
I see myself handing him in secret the book,
Okay.
and and kind of willing it to him, and him graciously taking it and promising to do good work.
Good. Now, would you use that book and help a lot of people through your life?
I think it was a healing book. It helped healing powers.
Oh, okay. Now, did you see yourself in various scenes in your mind? You see yourself helping others through different time periods in that life?
So it's a book older than humans. It has golden like writings in it that it can come up out of the page
Okay.
and can be read kind of almost through like a hologram. When there's like certain chants that they were never written down, they were only spoken word, and when only like a really small amount of people knew this, and that was the only way that the book could be activated.
Wow. Well, let's look at that book a little bit more detail. You said it was older than human. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And as you look back, do you see it coming, maybe in your mind, what stories you heard, or maybe somehow you have been associated with it through its lifetimes or whatever? Tell us about that book a little more.
My great grandmother gave it to me when I was a teenager, before she passed on. And before her, it had never seen the light of day. It was kept with a certain type of people in caves, who lived in caves.
Okay.
And before that, it was in the caves for a long time.
Would you say hundreds of years, thousands of years?
Thousands.
Thousands, millions?
Thousands, because before it came to Earth, it originated out of Earth.
Okay, now where do they think the book came from? Do they have any particular star systems they kind of refer to, or something out way beyond Earth, or how do they describe maybe where the book originated?
It seems like the exact story either wasn't told or was forgotten or skewed a little bit, but it was known that it was not written by humans. And the star system Vega came into my mind, but I don't know
Okay.
that that's accurate.
Well, we can look at that later, but Vega came to your mind. Obviously there's, there could have been anything going on over there, who knows. So you think it came from another star system, and it was a book, and did a lot of this information, would this come from this other star system, and somebody brought it here, or who brought it here?
I'm seeing really tall blue beings.
Okay.
Maybe 12 or 15 feet tall. And
Like blue skin, you said?
blue skin, but they're very, very high vibrational. So they're almost transparent, but yeah, I'm not sure what it could be.
Well, let's look at them a little bit. Do they say if you had to look at your mind and a letter had to appear on a blank screen, and they put the first letter of the star system in front of on the board, what letter comes up? Is it a V or is it some other letter? Do you think?
Alpha?
So maybe there's an alpha up there. Okay. Do they give you? Is there anything else to go with the alpha behind it?
I mean, I got Omega, so.
Okay. Did okay? So are they the ones that wrote the book, or do they get the knowledge from earlier than that?
I'm also getting Orion.
Okay.
Um, they they uh, they didn't write it necessarily, but created it through energy
Okay.
into something physical, so that certain humans, could work with it.
Interesting. And you were one of those humans that was passed down like through a family line, I guess.
Yeah, it was a bloodline.
Okay. And it stuck to this bloodline. It stuck to this bloodline because why? Why your bloodline?
Because my way far back ancestors were a mix of this alien race and human.
Okay, human. Okay. So way back when, it does appear like maybe if you trace it back far enough, that maybe some of your bloodline had like genetic manipulations or sex or whatever with this other alien species,
Yeah,
or was it like a test tube hybrid thing, or
it wasn't test tube. It wasn't like that. It was more natural.
okay. Okay, so they were pretty. Did they seem pretty human-like looking, or what did they look like again? You said blue skin.
I mean, they have the same basic face structure,
Okay.
but they don't have as much of a difference. I mean, humans can vary very, greatly in size, shape,
Good point,
look, but
yeah.
there isn't really a sex, so to speak. They're male or female.
Were they well proportioned, like normal humans, almost like they're just a little bit stronger, or
Yeah, just
they were not like a little gray alien that we've all heard of?
No, they're very tall, very light. They do have blue skin, but it's almost transparent
Okay.
because they're very high frequency.
Okay. So I guess we can speculate, listen to this, that you also carry some of this hybrid gene because it's through your bloodline. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay. So you felt that you had this connection to this this genetic bloodline.
So there are some blue people in India,
Okay.
and I was a part of that bloodline.
I see. Now describe, and how old were you? How long did you live in that life?
I lived to be 94.
94, okay. And what was your name again, you thought maybe that popped in your head?
Marut Maganda.
Okay. And that's interesting. What year roughly was it again?
Well, when I died, it was the 60s.
Okay. So back when you were 75, it was like the 40s, as you mentioned. Is that
Right.
correct? Okay. Well, that all kind of ties together. Well, let's kind of look at that. Going up to 94 years of age, were you very frail at that point?
No, not very. I appeared to be my age, but I was still walking and performing healings, and I was missing a couple teeth, but I was okay.
You're very active. That sounds great.
Yeah, I was walking and everything.
And then you said it was time. You felt like it was almost time to go, as you mentioned. And take me to that part in the book to where you said you used, I guess, the book or some of the things in it to help you consciously die. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was a very practiced spiritual person and involved in different forms of yoga, and I knew that my body was organic and it was becoming too uncomfortable to remain in my body, and I was aware of the spirit being separate from the body, and I chose to end that life consciously. Not by suicide, but by allowing death to come to me
Sure.
overnight, and I left my body.
All right, let's go to that moment when you left your body. And you feel it and see it so clear in your mind now, almost like it was yesterday. And I want you to describe when you saw yourself coming out of your body. What took place, and what did you look like? And give us a little background on that.
Well, I see my body, but pretty frail, and there's a fire going to my left, and I'm on a kind of like a simple wooden bed, with some pretty like tattered looking covers. Very simple room. I don't see any windows, and I had been meditating for a few days, and
I want you to just relax and avoid the noise. And just allow yourself to hold on to those memories.
I'm still there.
Good. And just kind of hang on to it. So I guess the phone wasn't off the hook, but that's okay. So just kind of relax. And tell me, describe that to me again. You're staring at your room, and you're kind of staring. And I guess you're looking all around outside of your body.
Mm-hmm. So, well, I'm still in my body at this point, but maybe I'm not, because I'm observing myself. But I am able to, I'm watching my body as I take my last exhale, and there's a white, translucent, kind of milky colored essence came out through my last breath, through my mouth, and it turned into a dragon, a dragon shape.
Wow.
And
Yeah, look at that dragon shape kind of coming out. You're there in the room. And as you drift down deeper and deeper, allowing all the images to become brighter, kind of remembering all the details. And as you're there and you kind of see that wispy dragon shape, I want you to kind of go from there as we go forward. I want you to take me to where you go next, or what you see next after that. Where do you go from there?
I remember seeing my body that I just left very closely and recognizing that for a brief second that I could see myself. So my brain, I guess, was still functioning so that my open eyes could see my own spirit.
Okay.
And I watched as my eyes glassed over and became lifeless. And I kind of kissed my forehead, my own forehead, and then there was just darkness.
Okay, so it kind of goes to a darkness. And that's fine. So I want you to just kind of stay there and kind of reflect on all we've been talking about. Kind of unlocking all those, all those memories in your